Samuel threw Christine out of his mansion because of her very bad body odor. Christine had been the envy of every girl on campus at Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Awka. She was a final year student dating Samuel, a young man who seemed to have endless money. He owned several cars and a beautiful mansion in the heart of Awka where Christine lived with him after leaving her school hostel. They went on vacations to Dubai and South Africa. They wore designer clothes and threw parties that everyone talked about for weeks. Other girls whispered about how lucky Christine was, how she had won the lottery of life by finding such a rich boyfriend. Christine's friend Amanda had warned her once. She told Christine to ask questions about where all this sudden wealth came from, because Samuel had been a regular student just like them before he mysteriously became rich. Christine called Amanda jealous and stopped talking to her completely. Deep down, Christine knew the truth. She knew Samuel was a Yahoo boy who made his money through internet fraud, but she did not care. The lifestyle was too sweet to give up. When exam time came, Christine paid other students to write her exams while she relaxed at home. Life felt perfect until everything collapsed. Samuel got into serious debt. People he owed money came to the house threatening him. He had to sell his cars one by one. He sold 2 of his houses. The money he had left, he invested in several businesses, but every single one of them failed. They moved from the big mansion to a small 2-bedroom apartment in a less fancy part of Awka. Samuel was desperate. He went to see a native doctor in a village outside Awka. The native doctor told him he could restore his wealth, but he needed the personal belongings of a woman, specifically her underwear and other intimate items. Samuel came home and explained everything to Christine. Without hesitation, she agreed. Her reasoning was simple. If Samuel got rich again, she would benefit too. She did not believe those stories about destinies being stolen. And even if her destiny was somehow affected, she thought she could just live off Samuel's success forever. She handed over her underwear and other personal items without fear. The ritual was performed. Within 3 weeks, Samuel started making money again. Big money. They moved back to a nice house. He bought a new car. Everything seemed to be returning to normal. Christine was relieved and happy. Then the smell started. Samuel complained that Christine had a terrible body odor. She was confused because she bathed twice daily and used expensive perfumes like she always had. She could not smell anything wrong with herself, but Samuel kept complaining. When she went to the market, people moved away from her. In church, the woman sitting next to her shifted to another seat. Classmates wrinkled their noses when she walked past. Even strangers on the street turned their faces away. Christine scrubbed her body until her skin hurt. She bought different soaps and perfumes. Nothing worked. The smell that only others could perceive grew worse each day. Samuel could barely look at her anymore. One evening, he packed her bags and told her to leave. She begged and cried, but he pushed her out of the house and locked the gate. Christine dragged her luggage along with her after Samuel threw her out of the house. She went first to the friends she used to party with, the ones who cheered her on when she moved into Samuel's mansion and posted their glamorous lifestyle on social media. When she knocked on their door, they opened it with smiles that quickly turned to disgust. They covered their noses and told her to leave immediately. One of them actually gagged and ran inside. They shut the door in her face while she stood there crying. These were the same girls who had eaten her food, worn her clothes, and enjoyed Samuel's money with her. She thought about going home to her parents in Onitsha, but the shame was too much. What would she tell them? That she had been living with a man instead of in school hostel? That she paid people to write her exams? That she gave her underwear to a native doctor for money ritual? Her father would probably disown her. Her mother would collapse from the shock. So she stayed away, sleeping in cheap hotels and spending the little money she had left until she had nowhere else to turn. The hotel even told her to leave because of her smell. Amanda was her last option. When Amanda opened the door and saw Christine, she had already heard the rumors circulating around campus about Christine's condition. But seeing it in person and actually smelling it was something else entirely. The odor was so strong that Amanda had to step back and open all the windows. It was not like normal body odor or sweat. It was something deeper, something rotten and unnatural that seemed to come from Christine's very core. Christine collapsed on Amanda's floor and cried until she had no more tears left. She apologized over and over for how she had treated Amanda, for calling her jealous, for choosing a man over their friendship. Amanda sat beside her, trying not to breathe too deeply, and waited for Christine to calm down enough to explain what had happened. When Christine finally told her everything about the native doctor and the ritual, Amanda was not even surprised. She had suspected something like this from the beginning. Amanda told Christine that no amount of soap or perfume would fix this problem because it was not physical, it was spiritual. The smell was a curse, a mark left behind by the ritual. Amanda said they needed to find help, but first, Christine had to go home and tell her parents everything, no matter how difficult it would be. Christine refused at first, crying that her parents would kill her, but Amanda insisted that she had no choice anymore. She could not fight this battle alone. Amanda offered to go with her to Onitsha, to help explain things to her parents, and to protect Christine if things got violent. The journey from Aoka to Onitsha was horrible. They took a bus, and within minutes of sitting down, other passengers started complaining. Someone said there must be rotten fish in the boot of the vehicle. Others checked their shoes, thinking they had stepped in something. The driver even stopped twice to check if there was a dead animal stuck under the bus. Amanda tried her best to shield Christine, claiming she had brought some chemicals. Christine sat by the window, crying silently while people whispered and pointed. When they finally arrived at Christine's family house in Onitsha, her parents came out to welcome them, but immediately covered their noses in shock. Christine's mother actually staggered backward. Her father's face turned dark with anger. Christine fell on her knees right there in the compound and confessed everything through her tears. She told them about Samuel, about leaving the hostel, about the money ritual, about giving away her underwear. Her father's hand flew up to slap her, but Amanda quickly stepped between them, begging him to stop. She explained that beating Christine would not solve anything now, that they needed to focus on finding a solution instead of punishing her. Christine's mother was crying, asking how her daughter could have been so foolish. Her father was pacing back and forth, trying to control his anger. They asked Amanda many questions about what she knew and when she knew it. Amanda explained that she had warned Christine early on, but Christine had refused to listen. After hours of crying and talking, they all agreed that they needed to confront Samuel and make him reverse what he had done. The next day, Christine's parents and Amanda traveled back to Aoka. Christine stayed behind because her parents said she had suffered enough embarrassment. Amanda directed them to Samuel's new house, a nice duplex in a good area of town. When Samuel opened the door and saw them, he knew exactly why they had come. He let them in, but his face showed no remorse. Christine's father demanded that Samuel reverse the ritual immediately. Samuel laughed and said he did not force Christine to do anything. He explained that when he told Christine about the native doctor's requirements, he actually expected her to refuse or maybe help him find another girl to get the items from. He never imagined she would so quickly and willingly hand over her own underwear. He said Christine made it easy for him by being so desperate to maintain their lifestyle. He told them that what was done could not be undone by him because he was not the one who performed the ritual. Christine's mother begged him, crying, but Samuel remained cold. He said Christine made her choice and now she had to live with it. He told them to leave his house. Christine's father wanted to fight him, but Amanda pulled him back, reminding him that violence would only make things worse. They left Samuel's house feeling hopeless. On their way back to Onitsha, Christine's father suggested reporting Samuel to the police, but they all knew the police could not handle spiritual matters. The law dealt with physical crimes, not curses and rituals. When they got home and told Christine what Samuel had said, she cried even harder. She felt like her life was completely over. For weeks, Christine barely left her room. She could not go anywhere without people running away from her. Her parents tried different native doctors, who all said the curse was too strong. Some demanded huge amounts of money that the family did not have. Others tried their rituals, but nothing worked. The smell remained. Christine stopped eating properly. She lost weight and her eyes became hollow. Her mother feared she might try to harm herself. Amanda kept visiting even though the journey from Aoka to Onitsha was long and expensive. She refused to abandon Christine. One day, Amanda suggested they try her church. She attended a powerful prayer ministry in Alka where the pastor was known for dealing with spiritual problems. Christine's parents were willing to try anything at this point. They all traveled to Alka and moved into a small hotel near Amanda's church. The pastor met with Christine privately first, and after hearing her story, he told her that the ritual had traded her glory for money. The smell was a manifestation of spiritual death and decay. He said it would take serious prayer and fasting to break the curse, but it was possible. He warned them that it would not be easy or quick. For 3 weeks, Christine and her family lived in Auka, attending prayer sessions every morning and evening. They fasted for days, drinking only water. The church members laid hands on Christine and prayed for hours. Sometimes Christine would fall down shaking as they prayed. Other times she would cry uncontrollably. Amanda was there through it all, holding Christine's hand and encouraging her to keep going. Slowly, very slowly, the smell began to reduce. At first, only Christine's mother noticed it, saying the odor was not as strong as before. Then others in the church confirmed it. By the end of the 3rd week, the smell was completely gone. Christine could not believe it. She hugged Amanda and cried tears of joy this time. Her parents thanked God and the pastor. They gave offerings to the church from the little money they had. But while Christine was being delivered, Samuel's life was falling apart again. His money started disappearing. His business deals failed. People he had paid came demanding refunds. His house rent expired and his landlord threw him out. Within 2 months of Christine's deliverance, Samuel was back to being poor. He heard through mutual friends that Christine had been healed and he became desperate. He showed up at Christine's house in Onitsha begging for forgiveness. He was wearing old clothes and looking rough. He said he regretted everything and wanted Christine back. Christine looked at him standing at her gate and felt nothing but pity. She told him she forgave him not because he deserved it, but because holding on to anger would only hurt her more. She told him she was moving on with her life and he should do the same. She closed the gate and walked back inside, leaving Samuel standing there alone. Christine had missed an entire semester because of everything that happened. She had to go back to school and register again. This time, she moved into the school hostel and focused on her studies. Amanda, her constant support despite having graduated. People on campus still whispered about what had happened to Christine, but she no longer cared what they thought. She studied hard and wrote her own exams. She graduated 2 semesters later than her original set, but she graduated with her own results and what's left of her dignity. Be careful what you do for money. You may not be as lucky as Christine,